Hello everyone and welcome to ILR6 here for round number 7 at the Canadian Grand Prix. My name is Leon and as everyone knows by now I am a commentator for ILR6. As I said, it is round number 7 here at the Canadian Grand Prix. There has been a few changes, I believe. Don't quote me if I'm wrong. Oh, please do quote me if I'm wrong. But yeah, let's get cracking into the session. Sorry for the delay, the session start a few minutes late. Some people have not downloaded the latest patch, which is the reason for people not, or the lobby not starting earlier. Let me quickly go through the standings whilst everyone's setting their first laps. So Joe leads on 63 points, then it is Jaruru on 56, Patuka 53, Nipro 43, as well as Big W. Oh! What's happened here? Nipro, Pinerio, I'll call him Pinerio, have come together in qualifying there into what I believe is turn 4, the turn 4 chicane. I think Pinerio, someone's have to tell me how to pronounce him. Pinerio, I'm going to call him Pinerio, was trying to rejoin and Nipro hit him, so I don't know what's going to happen there, but anyway, let's go on board with someone else. I'll go back through the standings again. Where are we at? We'll start again. Joe is leading on 63 points, Jaruru is in on 56, Patuka on 53, then it's Big W and Nipro, they are both on 43, Leddy is on 40, Rebecca 39, Heavy T 35, Scott 34, ESD Mats 24, Stiggy 22, and then we have Johnny R95 and Speed Iceman. They are both on 14 actually. Bastos is also on 14. ONGB, I figured out his name now, it's B, is on 13 points. Ocean is on 4. Big Zuri and Muffin are on 1, and Carmeds and Newell haven't yet scored points. I believe we have one new person, which is Sippy. These names are getting harder to pronounce by the minute. I'll call him Sippy. Obviously, please say if I'm pronouncing this wrong. I don't want to offend someone unintentionally, but my best attempt. Trying. Here's Heavy T. Heavy T is late because he was downloading the patch. And at the moment, ESD Mats is provisional pole with a 19.5. Scott second and Bastos third. They're all in the 9s as we do have yellow flags. That is for Sippy, who has not crashed into the wall, but it's just going a little slow. Meanwhile, in the constructor standings, someone else off there, that was a Mercedes, I think. Big W. Alfa Romeo are leading the constructors on 121 points. Mercedes on 78. Haas 69. Racing Point 67. Then it's Toro Rosso and Ferrari, joint 5th and 6th on 53. Red Bull 7th with 48. Renault joint with McLaren 9th and 10th with 38 points. And then Williams have a miserably got 2 points. So let's actually get prepped for this qualifying session and also the race. We'll see, will the race be wet again? We've had 2 wet races 3 times in a row. So yeah, I doubt it. 3 wet races in a row is, I would class unlucky, but ayo. No podium interviews, as you know, I've got to rush off to ILR4 after this. Is there anyone? We've got Big W. Big W had an off earlier in the lap, but Big W is not pushing. So no one who's actually on a lap. Bastos isn't anymore. Sippy knows. A few people on the outlaps for their second run. Sorry for the cough. I think I'm developing one. Yeah, you can get 3 runs easily done here as Bastos goes provisional pole with a 1.9.3 and Sippy with a 1.8.6. Wow. Hello. What a lap there from Sippy. Well, Sippy. Yeah, I'll get told after the race whether I'm pronouncing it right or wrong. Let's go with Scott or Mr. Sneaky. Mr. Sneaky, who isn't on a lap. But no, my ERS is broken, so he actually might be on a lap. Mr. Sneaky coming through the final corner to finish. Oh, and they've hit the wall of champions. And it's still gone 9th. With a 110.6 and goes straight on turn 1. That was a big whack with the wall. Has got away with it slightly though. Scott now coming down straight. What can Scott do? Scott is yeah, not really on a lap. We've got quite a few people now. Nipro is coming down the back stretch. He's getting a nice toe off his teammate there. It was up by 0.8 in the middle sector, and now with that fancy little toe from his teammate, this could be a very good lap indeed. Nipro to the line, a 1.90. And that's with a bit of slipstream, and it's still 4 tenths off Sippy. Sippy may seem a little bit too quick for ILR6, but it is only qualifying. Right, we've got Patuka's just started a lap. Bigsbury in the first sector. Sneaky not on a lap. B is coming up to the line and is going to set a 9.3, and that puts him in 3rd. Carl Meds in the Williams. Williams needs to get off the board. Well, they are, but they're on 2 points. Not exactly great. Carl Meds is currently up by 11.5 seconds. And has completely fluffed the hairpin. So that's that lap finished. Pinarino or Pinero? Pinero? There you go, Pinero. Up by only 3 and a bit tenths. I'm not too sure here whether he's pushing or not. Doesn't seem like it. Coming up to the line to set a 1:14 dead. Not sure about that. It's not exactly near anyone else. Carl doesn't actually set a representative lap time yet. And is currently up by 6 tenths in the first sector, so it was somewhere in the middle, I guess. Where he lost all of his time as he comes through the middle sector, roaring through that middle chicane, and now is up by 11.9 seconds. So that will currently put Comeds in 15th. But we'll see what Comeds can do in this final sector. Someone has just moved up. It's Big W. Comeds through the final chicane. Can he get it right? Can he get a lap on the board? It looked fairly clean. Carl Meds to the line to set a 1.97. So that final sector gained 2 seconds. Very good there from Carl Meds. We'll be able to get back to the pits and get another lap done. Pinheiro or Pinarino, I can't remember his name now. Pinheiro. You remember that, Pinheiro. He's now in the pits. As everyone is practically in the pits, getting ready for the final runs. Anyone in the chat got any predictions? There is no way we've got 15 or 17 silent people. So we'll just wait. It actually looks like Joe is on a lap, and Joe is up by 1/10.5, or just 1/10, sorry, in the first sector. Coming through the middle, Joe is up by 0.5 seconds, so this puts Joe into the top 10. The championship leader needs a good result here, as currently second place man's, just double check this, second place man Jaruru isn't here, so there isn't no immediate issue. But anyway, Joe coming up to the line to set a 1 minute 9.5, and that puts Joe in 8th. This is ILR6, yes. I would just say it's Sippy who's currently vapid as such, setting the early pace, but I think with that lap time it may seem a little bit too quick for ILR6, if I was to say so myself. Right, so as everyone gets ready to start their final runs, Scott is not up, and he's going to go and pit. So now everyone's getting ready. Scott will be able to come back out again, no issues there. Mr. Sneaky, is he on a lap? Yes, and he's up by 2/10 in the first sector, which doesn't put him anywhere up, but if he can improve a little bit more like that, as his yellow flag's from sector 2, right where he's coming up to, that is Sippy, who's just going a little bit slow. But Mr. Sneaky now through the second chicane. People don't like this track due to the amount of chicanes. There are 3 of them, as Mr. Sneaky is now up by 6/10, and that will get Mr. Sneaky up places, to say the least, as we have yellow flags in all sectors, and now it's just nothing. We're back to green flags. So Mr. Sneaky coming through, or will be coming through the final corner now. And this will be in the 9s definitely, but what will it be? It will be a 9.2 from Mr. Sneaky. A very good lap there. And Nipro's backed off and was actually up. So Sippy starting their final lap. Pinheiro is on a lap. I'm not sure. We'll find out now anyway. To the line, a 110.8, which puts Pinheiro in 15th. Joe, that is him done. Speed Iceman goes 8th with a 9.5. Mr. Sneaky, no. Sippy's down in the first sector. What about the middle? Is still down in the middle as well, and has overshot the chicane. So this could be it for Sippy. Not going to be able to improve, but I think that lap time could be good enough. It could have been an absolutely perfect lap from Sippy in that middle stint. From my own personal experiences, you do the best in the middle stint. Sippy now, yeah, that's it for Sippy. That is him done. Nipro's pit. That's it for Mr. Sneaky. B is on a lap. I pronounce its own G. B is here. After being told to watch a video about it. Scott is down in the first sector. Stiggy in the middle sector, currently down as well. Pinheiro does now a 10.2, so has put himself in the mix with everyone. Stiggy is getting good, or thought was getting a tow, and I think is one of the last few people to cross the line. Stiggy pits. The Toro Rosso, that will be a Bastos. Pits. Scott. Comrades has rejoined. Scott to the line. Doesn't improve. Big W is the last one left. Currently by 2.5 tenths. That will put him in the top 6. Unless he can improve his final sector. Coming through the final corner now. Big W to the line. Does a 1 minute 9.1. And that puts him in 3rd. 2nd row of the grid. So not bad there from the Mercedes. From what I'm being told. A Renault got in the way of Sippy. I don't know how you pronounce his name. But I'm going to call him Sippy. There is 2 Renaults, so can't really point names. So Sippy is on pole with a 1.8.6. Nipro actually 2nd on a 1.90 on a set of mediums. Big W 3rd on a 1.9.1. Then Patuka in 4th. Bastos 5th. Sneaky 6th. B 7th. Matt's 8th, Speed Iceman 9th, and Joe in 10th. That's your top 10. Outside the top 10, 11th is Scott, 12th Carmeds, 13th Stiggy, 14th Bigzery, 15th Pinheiro, and 16th Null. Carmeds seemingly has got connection issues. So I don't know what's happening there. I don't know if he got in time. Hopefully there isn't a restart, because if there is a restart, then I'm not going to be able to stream the entire race, unfortunately, because probably about 1:45, basically in 50 minutes, my stream will be ended. I'll let the stream go until 7:45, and then it has to end as ILR 4. Anyone's in the chat want to go with the top 3 prediction? I really have no clue. So Wayo, and it looks like Comets' car did make it to the grid then. But did Comets get in his car? No. Oh, Comets hasn't made it. That is going to be interesting. Hopefully there is no restart. I'm not trying to say it in a bad way, but otherwise the whole race won't be able to be streamed from. Sippy is the leader of the formation lap as we look at the tyres. Obviously the top 10 who started on the mediums are starting on the mediums, which is Nipro, Iceman and Joe. And Heavy T is starting on a set of hards. Very interesting choice there from the Toro Rosso. He's not actually a Toro Rosso driver, he's just in the Toro Rosso. He is actually in the Mercedes. So don't worry, he hasn't picked the wrong car. He just joined late because of the patch and forgot to download it. So he's in the Toro Rosso for today, but no issues, I don't think. Your tyres are glitched. Remind me of your PSN. I would guess you're probably one of the 4. Sticking on mediums. You're mediums? Let me check race notes. It tells me you're on softs. So I don't know. No. Wrong button. But yeah, as we get ready, Sippy is, I've got it highlighted on the wrong person here. Sippy is starting on pole. Oh well. My spectator screen is broken. As we get ready for the start, we are waiting on Heavy T. That was an awful camera angle. And Biggs is on the mediums as well. Well, thank you, game, for not telling me. So as we get ready, we've got 2, 3, 4 and 5 red lights. And away we go for the Canadian Grand Prix, and it does look like Sippy's got off to a fairly good start. Can Nipro try anything around the outside of turn 1? Yes, he can. He brakes late. Down the inside for turn 2, and looks like he's got the move. Out traction there goes Sippy though, out traction him into turn 2 on the exit, into turns 3 and 4 I believe, all clean from that point. There's a bit of kerfuffle going on in the middle sector, or the middle of the pack, sorry. But other than that, we seem fairly clean. Back up top, Nipro has taken the lead on a set of mediums. Sippy is very close behind, all over his gearbox, followed by Patuka, Big W. Mr. Sneaky and Nasty Mats. I think Mats has gained a few positions there. Yeah, up by 2. Sippy looks like he's going to get a move done here down into the hairpin. No, thinks twice of it. Oh, actually goes on the inside through the apex, which will slow his speed down. Meanwhile, Scott has passed Iceman somewhere into the hairpin, and it looks like Iceman's going to come back at him, but quickly back on board the leaders. Nothing's going to happen here. So these two, oh, they've just switched. Oh. But anyway, here comes Sippy. Sippy looks like he's going to get the move done. Will he go down the inside? No, tries it around the outside. Oh, contact there. I don't think there was any wing damage there for the Ferrari. Luckily. But Sippy does need to pass Nipro quickly, as he doesn't want to get stuck behind a car on a slower tyre. Obviously the strategy is softs to... I can't even remember. I think it's softs to hards, or softs to mediums. Someone say in the chat please, I kind of forgot. It's softs to mediums and softs to hards. But anyway, after a couple of laps, the softs will start to wear out, and the mediums and hards will come into play. So if I can set to 1... There's only like 3 people in set to 1, so I don't know. Hello. That's Big W getting fairly close to the back of Patuka there. Can Big W get anything done? Patuka is about to drop out of DRS range, so the top 2 could start to get away with it. They're looking fairly quick so far. There's Pinheiro. He's going to try and go around the outside of Heavy T into the final chicane. I don't think that's a wise idea. No. Pinheiro does back out of that, and Speed Iceman pits on lap number 2 for a bog standard tyre change. Never mind, that is a wing change. Alright, and Sippy's made an error somewhere, and that's Patuka slapping the wall in the first chicane. So there may have been damage there, I don't know, but Nipro finding a lot of pace, getting away from Sippy. The gap is almost out of that 1 second margin. But Sippy, a very good middle sector, has been able to close back in on the Alpha drivers. We've got Stiggy going down the inside of Scott, no room there. And a huge snap of oversteer by Stiggy there, or just put the part on too early. But now they've both got DRS, but it looks like Stiggy has got the superior drag, I think, and has got the move done into the final chicane, and he's up into P8. Meanwhile, Mr. Sneaky has gone off and has spun at turn 1. I've never seen someone do that before. Oh, and rejoins just in front of Null in P9, but that is an error I've never seen. Never seen someone clip the grass on the entry to turn 1 and spin like that. was able to save it initially, but then spun again. Meanwhile, Sippy's closing back in on Nipro. Sorry for the pause there, I was having a little swig of my drink, and that is, oh, Pinero backwards in the wall. Meanwhile, Sippy looks like he's too far back. Meanwhile, Big W looks like he's a bit too close. And a bit too close is where he wants to be, and his DRS isn't on. So, isn't going to get the move done. Meanwhile, Sippy has run out of ERS. Meanwhile, Nipro has got all of it. But Sippy is going to have a look around the outside of turn 1. Does back out of it in the end. See if I can set to 3. Set to 3. Oh, who's that? It's Heavy T off at the final chicane. So I believe that is the first victim of the Wall of Champions, or is spun on the exit and at the opposite wall. That's one of the two things. If you can hear a squeaky noise, my chair is being a bit squeaky. I'll give it a bit of WD-40 after. But meanwhile, Stiggy is closing in on Bastos. The gap is just under 2.5 tenths. As we have possibly the worst camera angle possible. I want to see the car in front, not behind. Stiggy, ooh, I thought he would go for it. He went for it. Into the hairpin on Scar. Oh, Sneaky's around. Where's that? The exit of the second chicane. Sneaky's got away with that as well. And without hitting the wall, wow. And Bastos up, down to P7, sorry. Meanwhile, whilst I was looking at Sneaky. Sneaky getting all the stream time for all the wrong reasons. Sneaky's now been passed by Joe, so there's potential wing damage, and Sneaky is pitting. So we'll see what tyres this is for, and there isn't a wing change or spectator mode's glitched. Spectator mode is glitched. Set of hards, that's a new front wing. Heavy T has selected a set of mediums. Pretty interesting choice there. As Sippy is out of the DRS of Nipro, so Nipro can get away now. Meanwhile, Stiggy has passed the SD Matt somewhere, either into the hairpin or just before, and looks like Big W is going to get a move here on Patuka eventually. Big W's going to pull to the outside. Patuka's not going to let this go. They don't go. 2 into 1. Oh, and Stiggy's had to back off loads. And now both the Hassies going side by side. Mats is out. Oh! Oh, no, 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 no! Oh, that has gone horribly wrong. Horribly, horribly wrong for the Hassies. They collide on the straight. Patuka is out of the race. A championship contender has been hit out of the race by his own teammate. Well, I will have to put the blame on Stiggy there. Not really sure why Stiggy pulled to the left so vigorously. But yeah, that's an interesting predicament now. Both the Hassies are basically screwed for this Grand Prix. One of them isn't even in the Grand Prix anymore. The other one is not doing too well, and that is Matt's in the pits. For what tyre? As it's quite an early pit stop. And that is for a set of mediums. So that's a 2-stopper then. And we see Newell into the pits as well as Stiggy. But that's Stiggy for, I believe, a new front wing. If he's got away with that without a new front wing, That is quite lucky, but no, comes out in P11. And now there's no one within a second except for sneaky and Heavy T as Pinero has gone out the race, but the game's not told me. There he is, off in the second chicane. What is it with people going off at the second chicane? You know, Big W's in the pits for a set of mediums, and has been held there by Scott, who has also gone on a set of mediums but isn't going to get held. So not a bad job there from Scott to hold Big W up. Comes out comfortably in P7. Speed Iceman is a couple of seconds back. Joe picks up a penalty. Meanwhile, we'll wait for these three, Sippy, Bastos and Joe, to pit. Just to briefly check on the fastest lap at the moment, it is a 1:11.7. As Nipro is extending his lead. And Nipro obviously carrying on. Meanwhile, Sippy should be pitting, and he does. And Nipro will carry on and extend his lead at Grand Prix. Bastos is also in. Joe will be next. Wait, is Joe pit? No. Oh, come on, Codemasters. What is this? The game is slightly glitched here. It's telling me that he's on 8 lap old tyres. And what's the blue flags for? If Scott comes out P7, actually Bastos comes out P6 on a set of softs. Surely that's not right. I don't know who's on what tyre. I may have to leave and rejoin because nothing is right here. Oh, and that is Matt's. It's getting awfully close to Joe. Joe hasn't pit, but has apparently only done 8 laps out of 9. But yeah, Matt's down the inside at the hairpin. And Joe overshoots it actually, so Matt could have carried on there but didn't. I do have a spare invite, so I may leave and rejoin to try and normalise the game out here. So Matt's is going to pass Big W, no, but Joe should be pitting now and does. And Matt's that compromises his exit and also gets a 3-second time penalty. This is the only battle at the moment, and whilst nothing's going to happen there, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to rejoin as my game is fairly glitched. Because I do not believe that them people that are on the right tyres there, I believe I have a couple of glitches. It's not telling me when people are retiring. Sorry for the blue screen. Can blame Codemasters for this. Right. Right, so as we load back, let's see if anything's changed. Oh, now it tells me he retires. Thank you. I mean, he did that earlier, but, you know, right. There's the normal tyres. Bastos is actually on. Oh, what? Right, now we're on lap 12 and DRS. Codemasters. Right, okay, DRS has been enabled on lap 12, apparently. Scott pits again for a new front wing and a set of hards go on for the end of the Grand Prix. So Bastos is actually on a set of softs. So I don't get why, which I'm sure isn't right. But AO. But anyway, yeah, not much going on battles-wise. Am I on acid? Why is my voice crackling? Hold on. Why can I not hear myself? I don't hear any sound actually from my thingy. Nipro comes out behind Sippy. Sorry, I was looking at my sound. But yeah, Nipro's come out ahead of Sippy. So please, in the chat, can you say if you can hear my voice? Because I can't seemingly hear anything, apparently. Sticky picks up a 3-second time penalty. I don't know whether anything's working here. I'll keep an eye on this though. Nipro with DRS on Sippy. Is he going to pull to the outside? Yes, he is. But cannot get anything done. What about into turn one? It looks like he's going to try it around the outside. Sippy leaves the door open. Nipro's going to take it, goes down the inside. Sippy's left well too much room. But he's going to look for the switch back into turn 3. Oh, and they're going side by side. Sippy picks up another 3-second time penalty and has to concede the position. Let me double check my voice is here. Yes, this is working. Right, all good. So Nipro has passed Sippy and woo, Stiggy's gone off at turn 1. Okay. That's the second person who's had a spin at turn 1. So this track seems to be causing difficulties for most drivers here. I'm worried about Bastos, to be honest, because Bastos hasn't been able to gain on Big W, however he's on a set of softs. I'm not sure whether that graphic is 100% correct either. And oh, what's that going on there? Mats and Big W going side by side into the final chicane. Big W's had to cut it. Will he come back at him into turn 1? Would be a bit of a lunge. And no, doesn't go for it. But yeah, Big W on the front foot. And Matt's has to go on the back foot for now. Just trying to fend from Big W. Meanwhile, Joe on B. Or on GB. Nothing happens there. And EVT around the outside on the grass. Into turn 1 on Stiggy. Alex Albon-esque. Oh, hello. But Stiggy's going to come back at EVT here and getting the worst camera angles possible, and into the first chicane, EVT gets the position and is up into points. B hasn't pit. Oh, actually no, everyone has pit. So B pit on lap 1 and will have to pit again. I don't know if them hards can last the entire race distance. But here comes Joe. What should be a fairly comfortable move. Wait a second. Big W's past Mats and Joe is easily going to breeze past. Joe's going to easily breeze past B. And yeah, Big W up into 3rd. People are complaining there was no battles. Now we've got 3 in 1, in a way. Meanwhile, Sippy is struggling to keep on to the back of Nipro. That gap is going up steadily. So Nipro looking like he's got the pace to win this. Matt's now a little bit too far back, I would say, from Big W to go for any kind of move. Yeah, isn't even pushing in a straight line. Oh, hello, Sippy's on the back of Nipro here. Nipro seems to be struggling in a straight line or just wasn't pushing. Now they are equal on ERS, practically, yeah they are. So it is a fair battle. I know Sippy has got penalties and I don't think Nipro has one. So this is the battle for the lead. They both won't be pitting again. Big W is not far behind on a set of mediums, so I expect him to perhaps come into this, but his mediums will start to go off in about 10 laps time. He's actually just lost 3 temps, so sorry about that. Needs to pick up his pace. Now, as we have just gone past the halfway stage in this race, Nipro is trying to break the slipstream of Sippy. Sippy is closing though. And Sippy, Nipro did slightly move to the right under braking, but I don't think Sippy would have gone for the dive bomb into the final chicane. We know how that would have ended. Nothing happens there between them two. Joe is now going to pass Speed Iceman for P6. Speed Iceman, one of the early pitters, pit on lap 3, and I believe Speed Iceman can go to the end on that set. As Joe picks up a 3-second time penalty. Meanwhile, back on this battle for the lead as both the Renault switch as Big Drew's gone off the track. Oh! And Sneaky's at the back of him. I believe Sneaky's got wing damage from that. You don't want to see another teammates crashing into each other. We've seen that before. Meanwhile, Nipro trying to weave to break the slipstream and Sneaky's off the track. As I was just talking about him, but meanwhile, Sippy has got the lead of the Grand Prix around the outside just before the final corner, and Nipro has got DRS now. I mean Sippy, so Sippy will not be in danger into turn 1. And Nipro got a 3-second time penalty there for cutting the final chicane. And Sippy now picks up a 3-second time penalty, so I believe Sippy's now on 9 seconds, which is going to put him under pressure from all the way back up to Bastos. So, yeah, not going too well there for the Ferrari driver penalty-wise. Heavy T with a penalty, currently sat down in 11th. Gap is 3.5 temps. Nipro is determined to get back past, and my voice just died halfway through that sentence. The fastest lap is still by Joe, 111.9. No one else has even got near an 11. Nipro not pushing down this straight. He may know about the penalty situation. Oh, Sippy's clipped the grass into the final chicane. That will invite Nipro in. And it certainly will. Nipro around the outside before turn 1. They wheel bang into turn 1. And Nipro retakes the lead and Bastos does pit. So Bastos was on a set of softs. Legit. So very interesting strategy there. As Obasi said in the chat, soft, medium strategy is what Bastos is going for. But that puts Bastos down in 8th. But could maybe gain a few of them positions back as Newell pits. We're still on board with these two. Big W is not gaining any more, so them hards might just have the upper hand on their mediums, as they are now 11 lap holds, and these hards are fresher. Five tenths is the gap. Can Sippy do anything? He has got DRS and he is pushing. Perhaps trying to force Nipro into a mistake. Sippy made one last lap. Nipro is easily capable of doing one himself. Takes it very nicely, and Sippy does cut the final chicane, so that will be a warning. Will he go for into turn one? No. Just backs off. And B looks like he's going to get the move done on Speed Iceman. He's not going to go for it into the final chicane, is he? No. Speed Iceman pits, which actually slows B down a lot. Pretty smart tactics there from Speed Iceman, but Speed Iceman pits for a set of what will be mediums. Yep. Quite obvious there. Back on board with the battle for the lead. It's the only battle now. So, Sippy in trouble penalties wise. But he's right behind him. He's going to pull to the inside and he's going to retake the lead again. These two are going all out with each other, switching positions practically every lap. But I think Nipro can afford to do this as Big W pits, and so does Matt. Soft, medium, medium for Big W. And that puts Joe into third. Championship leader. Not exactly comfortably in third, as Big W is less than 3 seconds behind. But not bad there from the Racing Point. Meanwhile, still, this battle is continuing for the lead between Sippy and Nipro. Nipro's got DRS, but is well too far back to go for anything. Will Sippy make another error, or will Sippy get away? So Sippy carries on, as we have got 12 laps to go, or 13 technically. As Bastos now is just within DRS range, and Sippy gets another penalty. I'm sorry, I know I'm spoiling it, but I just want to check quickly. 1, 2, 3, 4 penalties to Nipro's 1. So that's 12 seconds worth of penalties for Sippy. Which is absolutely crazy. Nipro knows. And Nipro may just stay in behind. Knows that Sippy has got that amount of penalties. Mr. Sneaky picks up a 3-second time penalty. And now Big W is within DRS range of Joe, but isn't actually got DRS, as I guess he got in range after the line. A safety car? For Scott spinning? Well then. Who's going to pit? Stiggy's in. No wonder I would pit. B doesn't. Speed Iceman doesn't. I don't get why they're not pitting. Sauce will make it to the end. You're under the safety car. But wow, a safety car. I wonder if the top two will pit. So they come past the pit lane, Sippy pits, and Nipro will follow. This is bad for Sippy. Sippy has got 12 seconds worth of penalties, and everyone's getting bunched back up. So we'll have about a 9-lap shootout for the win here. Joe pits, Big W carries on. Obviously these two retain the lead. Oh, Nipro's on a set of mediums. That's a different strategy call from Nipro there. Sippy on a set of softs. And so did Joe and so did Stiggy, so Nipro possibly doesn't think them softs are going to do him that good. Will anyone at the back of each other? It would be a bit embarrassing. I expect Joe now to come through the grid. Sippy on a set of softs. 9 laps to go. The safety car came out for the stupidest of reasons. The safety car came out because Scott spun in the second chicane. I don't get this game. So yeah, Scott spun, second chicane. That caused a safety car. Meanwhile, we have 2 retirements. We have 2 Hasses, Button and Hamilton from 2011, but a lot worse. Nothing happens. You know, there's debris on the track. There was one car dead in the middle of the track. No safety car, but someone spinning. No, that's got to cause a safety car. I mean, like, this is the mind of Codemasters. This. I do imagine the safety car is going to come in this lap, as Iceman's the last car though. And Mr. Sneaky's been lapped. And probably won't get allowed through. Which is unfortunate. So Mr. Sneaky cannot unlap himself. As these guys are all trying to keep the tyres warmed up behind a safety car, the tyres do cool down very quickly. Especially for here, for a chicane. Safety car loves to put the brakes on and not accelerate. Is everyone behind it now? No, but when they all bunch up they will. And the safety car's going to go for another lap. Oh no, safety car's in, never mind. I thought it would be at the sector 2 detection point, but it's not. So, safety car comes in, Sippy's in an urge to go. Sippy's just putting the foot to the floor here. And we are off. Back to green flag. Once the safety car, yellow flags go away, and we've got what? But anyway, as we start, Sippy obviously retains the lead, and we'll have to try and somehow get a 9-second gap in 8 laps. But all fairly clean from the rest of the drivers. It is now a shootout till the end of the Grand Prix, and who's that? That's a Haas of Stiggy. Going down the inside of Heavy T. Heavy T having none of it. Heavy T cutting the grass and losing the position. Newell's on a set of hards. Probably not the best decision I've seen. Meanwhile, Speed Iceman and B are the closest two together. Mr. Sneaky with a 5-second stop go penalty for ignoring blue flags and is currently grass trimming. So yeah, Mr. Sneaky's now been lapped and that's basically it for him. Meanwhile, Big 08 is going to pull to the outside of Null and gets the move done into P11. And we'll hunt down for more positions. Sippy with the fastest lap of a 1:10.8. There are 7 laps to go. Sippy obviously in big trouble and needs to pull as big a gaps as possible or is going to get threatened to drop out the top 5. Because right now if the race were to finish, Sippy would finish last, or second to last. If no one had a penalty, obviously. But yeah, not good for the race leader as we've got Scott and Null. Null is now under pressure from Scott. There's no DRS yet, and Scott down the side of the second chicane. Null is really going to fight this. Oh no, Scott has just about saved it. Did get a slight brushing with the wall, but has got no damage. So very lucky there for the Red Bull driver. DRS still not enabled. Because it's not been 3 laps and Mats is hit the wall. Mats has hit the wall somewhere. But has got no wing damage and DRS has been enabled now with 6 laps to go. Speed Iceman now picks up a 3-second time penalty. Joe needs to get past these drivers. He is on a fresher set of tyres than all these guys ahead. Oh, Bastos has gone a little bit deep there. I think Bastos got wing damage as well. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe Bastos did get wing damage. Or either Mats did. Oh, that's a bit of a top of the wall for Joe now. Was that a bit of front wing damage? Yes, it is. Joe's front wing is missing. The side plates are missing. Meanwhile, Bastos is going to pull to the inside of Mats and easily get the move done. No nuts. Mats is going to fight that. And now is in the hands of Joe. Joe is going to pull to the inside. And Mats without DRS again. Losing 2 positions. Sneaky with another penalty. Oh, Mats having a little look at Joe there. But Joe up into P5. Now if the race was to finish and no one had a penalty bar Sippy, Sippy would finish 11th and out of the points. And now Big Street with a 3-second time penalty. And Joe with practically no ERS now. Oh, so fast set to 2. Oh, EVT's round. And now Biggs is in the wall. I would guess they've made contact somewhere. And they've both had brushes with the wall. So something has happened there between the 2 of them. But anyway, Sippy leads as we start lap 31 out of 35. The gap is 2.6 seconds. Obviously not good enough. Mr. Sneaky is... oh, hello. Oh, EVT. That was a bit naughty. But yeah, Mr. Sneaky is racking up penalties. It's Big 3 pits. And Big 3 retires. So that is our 3rd retirement. And Joe now picks up a 3-second time penalty. Not what you want when you have about a 5-car train that you're currently in the middle of. Not great. EVT with a 3-second time penalty. So Sippy looks like he's going to drop out of the podium definitely. And we SD Mats, I thought he was going to go for it there. Currently on the 5th to last lap. Now Mats with DRS. Mats has got significant speed in a straight line. Oh, but Joe pits, and that's messed up Mats' line. Mats has got a penalty for corner cutting. Is that set to 3? What's that for? I don't know. Was it between them two? EVT's got wing damage. Joe's pitting for a new front wing. So Joe with wing damage. Joe is now out of the points by miles, I believe, over Heavy T. But Heavy T has got wing damage. Not great there for the Force India. Oh, sorry, not Force India. Alpha. No. Oh my God. Racing Point driver. Now, B. OMGB with DRS on Matt. Matt seems to have superior straight line speed. We've basically already seen it now as the leaders start the third to last lap. 3 laps to go. As this 4-car train, as Bastos has been able to get away a little bit. Heavy T now with a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, and that will promote Joe up into 10th. Now Speed Iceman with a 3-second time penalty for cutting somewhere in the first chicane. B is all over the back of Mats here. Will B go for it into the second chicane? It looks like it. B down the inside. Mats was reluctant at that position there. And comfortably let B through. Didn't really want to have none of it. All these guys squabbling is helping Sippy. Now here comes Mats. Mats with his superior straight line speed. As Nipro picks up a 3-second time penalty, it's not going to matter much in terms of the leader. As these two go side by side into the final chicane. They both mess each other up on lines. Stiggy now on a pretty worn set of softs. Oh, yes, see Matt's trying to go back down around the outside of turn 1. Stiggy now down the inside of turn 1. Oh, they will bike, but it looks like Matt's is going to keep the position. I don't think Stiggy's got much tread left in them tyres. And I think I can say the same about Sippy as well. Sippy's tyres are going to be going off at this point. They're not exactly going to be the greatest set of softs to be driving. Meanwhile, Bastos is right on the back of Big W. This is a battle for third place. And I don't know about penalties between these two, but this could go to the final lap. Stiggy now with a 3-second time penalty. Now Bastos with DRS. Bastos has not had a great season so far. He could get his first podium of the season, I believe. Can't get it right now as the leaders start the last lap. Bastos though with a very good exit out of the final chicane, and has got DRS and has got slipstream pulls to the outside into turn 1, but backs off. Very confusing there from Bastos. I do not know why you would back off on the last lap, a battle for the podium. Don't see the reason in backing off, but Sippy's tyres have completely blown. Something has happened to Sippy. Sippy's losing time left, right and centre because of these softs. Will Nipro want to overtake him on track? He's got DRS. It looks like it's going to be fairly easy. And Nipro, oh, side-by-side contact there into the final chicane though. Nipro gets past. And Sippy had none of it on penalties anyway. But yeah, Nipro crosses the line to win the Canadian Grand Prix. Sippy in second, Big W should get third depending on penalties. No, Bastos second, Big W third, Sippy fourth, B fifth, ESD Matt sixth, Sticky seventh, Scott eighth, Speed Iceman ninth, and Joe will get 10th. Heavy T will get 11th, Newell 12th. And is Sneaky even still here? Yes, Sneaky will get 13th. But obviously 13th is no points. Newell will actually get 11th because Heavy T had quite a few penalties. And Mr. Sneaky will round off this race. So is Nipro holding the Canadian GP Winners' Trophy. I don't know where Nipro was in the championship. Nipro was 4th. So that win is a big win. And that'll put him ahead of Joe, Jaruru and Patuka. So I think, yeah, Nipro takes a championship lead. With that win. Very good win there from Nipro. I'll go for the grid and then end the stream. So, Nipro wins the Canadian Grand Prix. Bastos is in second. Big W third. Sippy fourth on his debut because of penalties. B fifth. Matt sixth. Sticky seventh. Scott eighth. Speed Iceman ninth and Scott. No, not Scott. Joe in 10th. New 11th. Heavy T 12th. And Mr. Sneaky 13th. They're your finishers. Your non-finishers were as follows: Bigzery, Pinheiro, I couldn't say his name, Pinheiro, and Patuka. That has been it from me, Leon, and ILR 4 and ILR 5 are just around the corner. Literally 15 minutes around the corner. But from ILR 6, 7 and 8, that has been it from us, and we'll see you next week.